Jordan the Tattoo Stitcher. I am back for a weekly cross-stitching update. I have a big finish to show today and a couple of FFOs of previous finishes. And I only have a couple of whips to show. And no new starts, right? Yeah, no new starts and a bit of sewing. This is my last video before I leave for my next retreat, which is in Amana, Iowa, being hosted by Michelle, Farm Girl Dry Goods. The retreat designer is Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread, and I'm really excited. So I knew that would really just take over what was filling my brain if I let 2 weeks go between videos. So I wanted to just do this quick video to get everything out of my head so that I have a clean slate for next week's video to recap the retreat. So I will start with my FFOs. I finished a couple of pillows over the last week. This is a project that I had stitched probably 6 years ago. It's I think it's a Little House Needleworks, Old Glory. I stitched this on, I think it's 28 count. I think it's 28 count Monaco. It's like an even weave that the housewives stitch on a lot. I don't know if they still do, but they did. And then I'm pretty sure I used the called for, maybe subbed a few things. I don't know. It's been a really long time. But this has been stitched and just sitting in my tub right here where I keep all of my finishes for a really long time, at least 5 years. So I thought, now that I actually have a 4th of July decoration display in my house, that it needs to get finished and be put out for display. So it's just got some, what is this called? Red ticking, or I think it has a name, but I can't remember what it is, on the back. And I did a Lady Dot Creates rickrack in Sizzle, I believe. And it's just really cute. I'm glad to have it out. Oh, what's it stuffed with? Polyfill and a little sawdust. And the next one I finished is Strawberries and Stripes from With Thy Needle and Thread. I finished this a few weeks ago. Let's think. I think it's stitched in all the called fors. No, it's not. It's stitched in a mixture of called fors and from Stash, but I couldn't tell you which ones are which. I finished it in this really cute strawberry fabric with a Lady Dot Creates blue chenille. I think it's called Union Blue or something like that. What's that stitched on? 36 count aged paper from Color and Cotton, I think. A really old version of aged paper from Color and Cotton, because the new version, I do have a piece of it, is much darker. This is more very like pink, almost pink undertone. So there's my 2 FFOs, and I have one finish, and that is my Quaker Christmas stocking. So the top part is supposed to say Merry Christmas right here. And I decided to leave that off because I'm not sure that I want it to be on there. I have, you know, the extra fabric. I can add it if I want to, or if I want to add different words, I could. But I just wasn't sure that I wanted it to say Merry Christmas. And then a few of my friends know because I chatted with them about it. But when I finished this, I was feeling regretful that I didn't do it in the stocking shape, because it's really long and skinny, and because it's so long, I'm like a little worried at the cost of framing it, and I'm just not sure. I'm definitely doubting myself in the finish, in the decisions I made here, but I did love stitching it, and I love the colors. So I'll kind of go up close here. This is stitched in all the called for NPI on the called for linen, which is 40 count wheat from Fiber on Whim. That swan is just magnificent. Those Quakers on the top were so big. They took me a long time, it felt like. So I love it. I'm really happy to have it done, and I'm really glad I stitched it. As far as the finishing part, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do with it. I do want to stitch the companion, which is the one with all the houses. But I just don't know. I just don't know what to do, because I really don't want to re-stitch this into the stocking. I'm not one of those people that likes to stitch the same thing 100 times. But I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's gonna just kind of be in limbo for a bit. But my goal was to get it done before I left for Amana, and I did, and I'm really glad that I can take it out of my whip pile. So there's that. And I have the other piece of that fabric and the threads to do the companion piece, because it's all the same. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think I should do. If I should do it the same, if I should stitch it in a stocking. I don't know. You tell me. Okay, and whips. I'll start getting into my whips. Where's my iPad? Okay, so one of the whips I worked on, turn up the brightness, is Plum Street Samplers, A Shepherd's Song. I had this out in my last video, and I had a couple like hanging threads. So I was just like, we'll get these threads done, and then I ended up doing a little bit more. This is being stitched on 40 count Tekla from, what's it called? Tropical Stitches. I really have not done very much stitching the past week. It's just been chaotic here and I just haven't had the energy to do a lot of stitching. I've done some, but it's definitely not what I normally accomplish. So what I did since the last time you saw is I finished filling in the grass here above this sheep, and then I stitched the dog. So the dog is normally up here, and then there's words here that say wrought by P. Stewart. And I didn't want the words, and I thought it was weird that the dog was just like floating in the sky. I didn't like it. So I moved him down. So the dog is all done. I do need to add like there's like a little tag that goes on the dog's collar right here. But so that's really all I've done since you saw it, just the doggy and some grass. Every little stitch counts. Ooh. I wasted so much fabric on this piece. I don't know what I was doing when I was measuring. And that is a pet peeve of my own that I do to myself all the time, wasting fabric. Okay, and another whip that I've been working on is a Hands Across the Sea, my red sampler from Hands Across the Sea, which is Neeltje Cornelia Van Buren, 1903. This was an exclusive from the Hobby House Christmas box. So I'm stitching it on the called for 46 count antique button light with the 103 that it came with, which I think was 681. So I extended all these borders over, and then I did all of these eyelets right here. I just was in the mood to do eyelets. Audrey, who is Stitch Bead, she posted a video showing her in detail the technique I was trying to explain in my last video for doing eyelets. So she posted a video showing her doing the eyelets. So go and watch that. It was a great one. And there's so many birds chirping in the back of her video, and I loved it. So I did all these eyelets. I'm loving doing the eyelets right now. I wish this would like focus. I feel like it's not focusing. It's blurry. But so I've been stitching on this the last couple of days. And that's crazy because normally I'd probably have way more done, but like my heart has not been in stitching the past few days. I've been so exhausted. So I did some eyelets and they were fun. And I've done a few of these little borders and that's fun. So it's okay. But I'm sure I'll stitch on this a little bit more today. Because I've got my stitchy bag packed and I don't want to be like messing with stuff. I'm paranoid I'm going to forget my iPad. So I don't know if I'll even stitch tonight or stitch something that's just fill in. So there's that one. And then the last WIP I've been working on. So I had said in my last video that when I finished Christmas Quaker stocking that I was going to pull out another WIP and keep it out until it's finished. And a bunch of you said I need to do it for Channing Street because it's my oldest WIP. And so I did, and I'm getting quite a bit done on it, but it's taking me quite a while. There are a lot of color changes, and I think I severely underestimated the amount of time it would take me to finish this. So it is Channing Street from Annie B's. I'm doing this in my own color conversion. This chart is stitched in mostly DMC, but I wanted to do overdyes, so they're all just kind of overdyes from my stash. And most of them are Victorian motto. So I don't really want to take this out of the hoop. So I'll just kind of, okay, come off here. This is where I am. When I pulled it out, I didn't have any of these top berries or side berries. So I spent like a whole day of stitching, just adding in all these little doodads in the border and all the berries that are satin stitched. And I added these stars, and then I've just been like filling in all these random leaves. There's like 3 or 4 different colors of leaves in the cartouche. So I did finish the cartouche. That is done. And then I went down here and I was filling in empty bricks, and then I started putting in windows, and there's like a big creeping vine that goes all the way up. I did start filling in the roof, and I did this pot of flowers. There are 2 chimneys that go here. So, so when I was trying to decide which project to pick out, I was looking at this chart, and what has really stopped me from continuing on this chart, other than the many color changes, is I was trying to put my cats in here, and I knew I'd have to do a mirror image of the cat so I could have them facing each other. And then I was trying to figure out the colors to do, and it was like, I just could not be bothered. I did manage to get my bear dog on here, and he passed away in 2022. I had him for almost 12 years since he was a teeny baby. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll just have him be alone. And instead of doing the verse that's about like marriage and love and stuff in the cartouche, I was looking up poems for dogs and just sobbing, sobbing in my craft room. So this is just going to be a bear like memorial sampler for me, a remembrance of him sampler, and I'll just leave him alone here in the grass. And maybe I'll add, I don't know, flowers or something, but for now I'm just going to do that, and then I'll figure out like a poem to put in here and chart it myself at the end. So yeah, this is going to be my Bear Boys sampler, and that's it. So it'll stay out until it's finished, and it's a lot of freaking grass down there. Yikes. Not looking forward to that part. All that grass. Maybe I should fill in grass today since I don't have the brain power to do anything else. Don't want to lose this needle. Okay. Oh, I have an itch. Okay. Okay. That is all. Oh no, I have one more WIP. This is the bag I made for myself a while ago. So my other WIP that I worked on was Did it come into my garden? Yes, Come Into My Garden from Blackbird Designs. This is a stitch along that I'm doing, that I joined in. I'm not doing it with them. I joined in on their stitch along. Christy Crosshatch Quilt and Kim, the stay-at-home quilter. They're the hosts, the hostesses with the mostesses. I'm stitching this on 36 count vellum from Picture This Plus, and I really wanted to make it all the way across the bottom, so I could cut the excess fabric, because I was stitching on a half a yard and I loathe having to deal with so much fabric bulk. So that was my goal and I did it. Where's my board? This is a big old gal. Okay. I still have a hanging thread here. Just look away. Okay. So I did. I made it all the way across the bottom and I made it all the way up to one side. And it took me so long. This is a double border and the counting is just psychotic. There's no rhyme and reason. It's just kind of like, boop, like one is 13, one is 11, one is 15, one is 13, 12, one is, I mean, it's just, ugh. So it was a lot of counting. It took me a long time, but I got all the way to the top and I got to cut off the excess fabric, and that made me very, very happy. I love this fabric. It's coming off really gray toned on camera, but it's not that gray. It's more of like a, I mean, it's like a tannish, like a neutral. So I'm so happy to have made this much progress on it. It's a big, big chart. It's probably going to take me, we're working on a 400-year plan here, okay? So I would love to have it on my wall someday. So hopefully it doesn't take me 400 years. And I'm stitching that with all of the called for threads. Okay. So, I did get up to a little bit of sewing. I'm trying to think if I showed you my English paper piecing. I think I did this last time, but I don't know if I showed it. I did start piecing together my hexies. Did I show this? I can't remember if I showed this. They're not like secured, and there's a big gap between these two. I have to squeeze together. But I did do a few of those. I just can't remember if I showed them to you or not last time. Okay, so I did do some sewing. I made myself a few bags. So I made myself this bag out of the Sunday Brunch from Moda line. The colors are so fun. And I thought it would be perfect for that new Paulette, the exclusive for the Egg Harbor retreat that just went on. I think it's called Every Gift. Look at the inside. It's so retro. I love it so much. What a fun fabric line. And then the back is just in this crazy floral. So I love that. And then I wanted to make a bag for the new Brenda kit that I'll be getting in Amana. I have no idea what it looks like. I know what fabric it's stitched on, but I have no idea what the chart is. So I made this really just pretty floral one. It's called In Bloom, another Moda line. Go fun. It's so springy and pretty and I love it. And the inside is this like cross-stitched pattern. So I know that for the kit, the fabric is Winter Brew, 36 count Winter Brew. So I am going to bring my 40 count Winter Brew because I've heard that the chart is huge. So I'm bringing my 40 count Winter Brew just in case I'd rather do it on 40. And I want to have the option. So I did sew those two bags. What else have I done? Nothing stitching related. I have no haul. probably, she said, for the first time ever. I have no haul. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you what I've got in my retreat bag. So this time for my retreat bag, or yeah, my carrot, it's like, yeah, I don't know what my brain, you guys, sorry, is my Vera Bradley tomato backpack. Is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life? I have my Lori Holt fob on here, and I thought it'd be fun to show you what I've gotten here because it is small but mighty. It holds a ton of stuff. So what I learned when I went to Hobby House with my beautiful Apoon bag was that I do not like carrying like this or on my shoulder my heavy stitching stuff. I think I threw about 28 fits in the airport because of it. So I was like, nope, I'm doing a backpack this time. Jessica is the smart one, and she was like, get a backpack. What are you even doing? So I got a backpack. So much better. So this is the Bancroft backpack from Vera Bradley. It's got a laptop sleeve in the back, so that's where I'll put my iPad. And then the inside, I mean, it holds so much. So I do have my Apoon accessory pouch because I've got it loaded with like all the things that could ail you while you're there. I've been known to have a tummy trouble or two, and it's like my friends know that I always have all the meds, so when they need them, I'm just like the pharmacist. I've got my clamp-on travel light, which worked out so well when I was on the plane. I just clamped it to my table and I was able to stitch. And I also clamp it onto my Velky Padoki. And then I am bringing my Winterbury tool case, and it's just packed full of all of my things. So I've got lotion, my fabric magnets, I've got a pretty floss thing, all my scissors and my tools, my screwdriver for my hoops, needle cases, needles, chapstick, all the things. So I have that. And then I've got I have a pocket in here. I didn't know there was another zipper pocket in it. That's nice. Sorry, I'm distracted. So then inside in the back, I've got my hoop. I've got my retreat mat. I've got Bernadette, don't look. That's a gift. And then I've got my strawberry bag that I made, and I've got my 2 whips that I'm bringing. My strawberry bag that I made. And these are the 2 whips that I'm bringing with me to stitch on. I've got, this is the other thing I stitched while I was last week. My Liberty House. I'm stitching it on 40 count old sheep. I got it to the point where it's just filling. So that'll be a nice brainless project while I'm there. And then the other one I did show already, it's Summer Swan. I showed my fabric that I chose and everything for that one. Okay. So the bag is just waiting for me to add my iPad and my charger and my headphones, basically. And then the front pocket, I have, this is my charger that I take to retreats. Call me here. It plugs into the wall to charge, and then it has all of the sizes of things that you'll need to charge your stuff. And it charges things so fast, and it takes forever for the battery of this to drain out. And then I've got my miniature stitching tool case that I pull out when I'm on the plane because it's so little. So I've got my tiny scissors and some needles. And my tiny hoop. We're playing a game So I've got some of the thread that I need for the game. And then I've got Lily. She's coming. She sits right in this little pocket. Fits perfect. I think that's everything in here. I've got a protein bar. I think that's everything. That's where my phone will go. So that is my retreat bag. And I'm not going to take my backpack downstairs or across the hall, wherever the retreat is being held in. I don't bring that bag in there. In my suitcase, I have flat laying in there my Vera Bradley tote that I'll just like stick all my stuff in to bring down to the stitching room. And that's in my suitcase. I also have my Velky and my light, my heavy light for the table. And then my suitcase is where I have all my table gifts and my Smalls Exchange gift. And hopefully I can get everything home with me. I'm not anticipating shopping like it was at Hobby House. Oh, that was intense shopping, and I'm not anticipating it being like that because it's just a Michelle's like pop-up shop, which is great. So that is all the stitching and the sewing and the things to show for the last week. So I will do some shows really quick. We did watch Dope Thief, which is on Amazon Prime. We finished it. We watched all of it and finished it. It was so good. About two friends that were posing as CIA agents, kind of working with another drug dealer to take their drugs and their money and do whatever with it. And then they get, caught up in like some really bad situation. It was so good. It was really, really good. The way that it ended felt completed. So I don't know if there's another season coming because I feel like they could have just ended it right there and it would have been fine. Like it feels complete to me. So I'm not sure, but it was really good. I definitely recommend. And then we've been watching Mobland on Paramount with Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, and Anna from Downton Abbey. I don't remember her. I don't know her normal name. Her real name. It's really good. I love Mobland. It's like reading those like mob family like books. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like reading those books. The show is like exactly like those books. I am loving it. Loving it. I think we only have a couple episodes left because the season finale was just this last week, I think. And I think we only have maybe 2 episodes left. I love it. And then I have been watching All Creatures Great and Small. I needed a show that just made me feel warm and fuzzy, and that is the show, one of the best shows that make me feel warm and fuzzy. I love it so much. There's a new season. I've been putting it off because I've been waiting to just savor it. So I did start from the beginning because why not? It's such a great show. I could watch it a million times, and I have watched it a bunch of times. So I started from the beginning. I think I'm in the middle of season 2 right now. And there's the newest season is season 4. So I mean, that's a PBS Masterpiece classic. I highly, highly recommend if you love shows with animals, warm, fuzzy, lighthearted, emotional, just sweet shows. I think that is everything. I didn't watch any movies. I have really not been home a whole lot. I've been running around like a chicken with its head cut off. I missed life. If you don't like life, you don't have to stay and listen. But we did. So I think I had said in my last video, my daughter she made a higher level of dance team. So tonight we have the first dance team meeting. So I have that to do tonight, and then I jet set off in the morning. So I have that tonight. We've had like 8,000 pool party play date things with friends and kids, and so we've been doing a lot of those. My nails are all perfect and beautiful and ready for the retreat. I did this super hot pink. It was called Candy. I love it. And let's see. no big projects going on here, just trying to survive right now. The kids have field day at school today. Yes, we are still in school. We're still in freaking school. So their last day of school is Thursday. And then Parker's first day of aero gymnastics is Thursday night. Dad gets to take her. So she has that. I let my son take therapies off this week because it's last week of school. He's very excited to have those off. I did have a parent meeting at the preschool that my 3-year-old goes to. She was going as a peer model. It's a preschool through our school district. It's called the Early Education Center. She was going as a peer model since January, and they wanted to do some testing on her and more assessments, and we went in for that meeting yesterday. They have diagnosed her with a speech and language delay, which I knew was probably going to be the case. And she also has a few behavioral things they'd like to work with her, to work through them to get her ready for kindergarten in a year. So she does have an IEP now, which is like, I have a kid who's already going through all of this, but he's autistic, and so it's a bit different. His is a more higher level of need. She's not autistic. She's just got a speech issue, and the behavioral things is like she has a lot of anxiety. Just knowing that I'm leaving in the morning, she's been a wreck for like a day. So she just gets a lot of anxiety. She works herself up for situations, and I don't know. She needs a lot of reassurance, a lot of comforting. And they said that a lot of kids have it at this age and they grow out of it with more exposure and working with the people at school. So I'm hoping that she's dealing with that a bit better through the next preschool year and going into kindergarten. And the goal is that she doesn't need an IEP when she goes into kindergarten. So hopefully that's the case, and they'll address these speech issues she's having, which would be great. She does have some speech issues. So she's now enrolled as a student and with needs at the preschool instead of a peer model, which is actually good because now she can ride the bus, which will be really helpful for me. She can ride the bus. So we'll try that. If the bus is just not, if she just can't get on the bus, I think she'll be fine, but we can always go back to me driving her. That's fine. But my son rode the bus and he loved it. So she'll ride the bus now, and she'll get these extra helps that they think she needs. So it's good. So there's that. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else. I leave in the morning to Amana. I'm driving to my mother-in-law's house. We're traveling together to, here she is, to the airport, and taking off in the morning, and the flights are both really short, which is nice. So I will see you next week. You want to say hi? You just wave. So I will see you in my next video when I'll recap the retreat. Bye. Say bye.